then the temptation is very great. And to the extent that the Chinese and the Russians and everybody else were absorbing those treasury bonds, then you can continue printing. The question is whether there is a limit to that and whether the U.S. Central Bank first, the Fed and the Treasury and the government and the U.S. people, you, my friends, will have to face the fact that somebody has to pay the bill. There are regular consequences there. So why I say this? Because I think the markets have come back, but suddenly we say, okay, the crisis is over. So we start putting the pump in reverse. No, wait, because the real economy is not over. Unemployment is still there, and level of activity is not what it should be. So let's leave it on for a while more. Then the politicians have never, in the past, at least in the countries I know, the politicians have never allowed the central bankers to be as independent as they were when they were pumping the money in. Okay? Because the politicians love to see the money coming in. They don't like to hear Mr. Bernanke say, hey, you know what, we have to start raising interest rates. That's not politically very good. That's a big question mark. Sorry to leave it open. The second big question mark is regulatory consequences. I believe that it's very difficult, and we have suffered in our own countries, to hear people say, yes, we're in a capitalistic mode, in a capitalistic world, in a capitalistic economy. So earnings are for the shareholders and for the executives. Bonuses and dividends, everybody happy. Now, what about losses? Oh, no, losses are for the taxpayers. No, it doesn't quite work that well. Politicians don't like it. They don't know the responses. All they know is that in the moment of crisis, somebody comes and says, hey guys, you know what? If you don't save Lehman, if you don't save the rest of the system, the losses are going to be much worse. So they understand that and they let the money come in. But when the time comes to say, okay, now we go back to bonuses and happy-go-lucky shareholders, it's a different world, okay? So with those two questions, unfortunately, unanswered, I would thank you very much for your time, and we'd like to go to
Thank you, Alex.
questions.
I was going to ask each one of the panelists about the major risks, but I think they've kind of covered it. I think Sue is a kind of a return to the behavior that got us into the crisis in the first place. John, I'm not sure exactly. I think it's just kind of the ephemeral risk of returning to some of the previous crashes instead of continuing on the path. With Dave, it's the refinancing risk.
And I would add commercial real estate to that list.
Well, nobody's mentioned commercial real estate, so that's a good one. And Alec, I think